the fabulous 8-Bit Bros program. You can check them out here on Ironic Radio Network. 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m., Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Oh, what up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Bros. It is the Turkey Day traditional Tuesday before Turkey Day episode, where strange metal objects appear in the middle of the desert. Who knows what we're going to talk about tonight? We don't even know what we're going to talk about tonight. But grab a beer, sit back, put your kids in the closet, and do the right thing, people. Let's roll.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Early edition.
Yep. Waiting for the breakdown.
Oh, how do you like that?
I'm loving it.
How's that feel?
Feels good. 8-Bit Bros.
God.
Tuesday.
I'm listening to 8-Bit Bros.
Early edition. What up, gentlemen?
What's going on?
Center box gets a square, as always.
What up, people?
To the left, me, web boy. To the right, 846 miles south, the one and only Thumpin' Loud.
The new skinnier version.
Well, okay.
It's hilarious, dude. I
What?
cut one. Remember that belt that I got when I was up there? That Q got me
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Well, I cut it down 4 inches.
Ooh. Oh, I can't do it. Hold on.
To make it usable. So
My cap to you.
Well done, brother.
Yeah, I tip my cap to you, bro.
yeah,
4 inches? That's a big deal.
my jeans. Oh, it's nice.
That's a big deal.
I like all my jeans again.
Right?
I'm like, hell yeah, check these out. Today
One-
was the day I literally did go, all right, let's see how many pairs of these I can actually wear. Oh, all of them. Check that shit out. I was like, this is a good thing.
Oh,
Probably feel a whole lot healthier, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Dude, that's congratulations, bro. I'm looking over there because I'm watching the Facebook feed, and sorry, I should be looking here, but that's...
Yep.
Yeah. Where's the...
Someone says you can actually really tell in my face.
You can.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
I don't know. It's still my face. He goes, yeah. He says,
Yeah, but you-
it's just a much thinner version of your face. He's like, you could tell you lost a lot of weight.
So you really don't think that's real? Why? Because the first photo of the sheep is so shitty looking? And the second one of his, like, high detail, fucking 1080p photography?
Well, no.
I mean, because that one shot from the helicopter. The other one shot on the fucking ground.
Right. And, yeah,
With a hand.
I get what you're saying. I get
Can you please go out and count sheep? See, what do you do? I'll count sheep. How do you sleep at night? If you're counting sheep all day long, how the fuck do you sleep at night?
Well, you don't count sheep, that's for sure.
No, not at all. Who the fuck counts sheep?
That guy.
Why? I didn't read.
But what do the sheep have to do with the monolith?
They out there counting
Well,
sheep.
no, he is traditionally. This is the Utah Highway Patrol, also a division of their Wildlife and Game Commission or whatever. It's a state police force, and so they're out there literally surveying the land, just kind of like taking a check on what the wildlife looks like and all
Don't
that
they help
type
the
of stuff.
farmers spot
So-
the fucking count their sheep?
If
the herders, the
necessary,
flockers?
yeah. These are wild though. These right here, the image
Oh,
that we
these
got,
are
those are
wild?
wild. Yeah, that's not a farmed variety there. But
Okay.
yes, they also help with that as well. But no, it's because the two images that there are of said monolith, they're the location of it's shaped.
I see. They're helping the wildlife game keep track of what's going on. I see it here.
Right.
My question is, why is there only photos of the front of it?
Well,
the what?
Hold on.
Oh,
front
Why-
of it.
my question is why are there two different images taken from in front of it without the same? Like it's close to the same background, but you can tell that those angles don't match.
No, they don't match because they're different angles.
No. If you look at the face of the object and you look at where those gentlemen are standing in relation, because you can tell that how close the images are to.
I think one of them is just a cropped image because it is fairly close to the same angle.
If you look,
I think
at
they
the
just zoomed in
face-
on one.
If you look at the face of the structure itself,
Yeah. So the first photo.
yeah, you're
On
looking.
the-
Where would you say you're looking? Straight on
Pre-
at it?
Yeah, pretty much straight on
Pretty
at it.
much.
No,
straight on
I would
it?
say at 11 o'clock you're looking at it.
Yeah.
It's at noon. You're at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, optical illusion. Look at the dirt in front of it. That's pretty straight.
Well, I'm looking at that mud patch and the pattern around the mud patch.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
that brings a little bit more perspective to when you look
Yeah.
at the other image.
Okay, so what other image am I looking at? The other one where they're standing on top of each other?
Right.
Well, yeah, it's a completely different angle.
Right.
That's like fucking 5 o'clock.
I don't think that the way the object's facing
Mm-hmm.
looks to be the same as the way the object was facing in the other image.
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying,
It
but they got-
looks rotated slightly, and it
yeah.
could,
Yep.
if you look at the face of the object,
Eh,
it looks like they're not in the same soil to be
yeah.
positioned where they are. Like
I'm telling you right now, this is nothing more than HVAC duct that they put out there just to get a photo op.
oh, that's hilarious.
It's HVAC ductwork.
That would
They
be
brought it out
hilarious.
there. It weighs absolutely nothing. The one guy standing on the other guy's shoulders, holding on top of it, is just for that specific photo.
What are you drinking?
Then they turned around, walked away, threw it over their shoulder, and carried it
Yeah,
also.
the two of them carried it right back over to the helicopter and hopped on and fucking rolled out.
Yep.
It's interesting that it popped up out of the middle of fucking nowhere.
Okay, in the middle of nowhere in Utah. Now,
Yeah.
are you telling me that what this actually is this is the next part of the tale of the Book of Mormon, where like now it's not the gold plates, now it's this other metal object just randomly found in Utah desert?
Right when they
You know what?
fucking
We'll
metal
just blame
sampled
Mom Holy.
Malolorium. Yeah, exactly right. He probably put it there.
But yeah, so just based on the two images, because like this rock formation on the left side of the image here is also in the picture below, but it's more behind them behind the image at that point, behind the monolith at that point. And just by looking at everything, it almost looks like it's slightly rotated in its formation. So it brings that little bit of question.
Mm.
Like I said, it could totally be bullshit, or it could be some really cool shit, or it could also just be some Book of Mormon type shit.
All right. I don't
Are either
disagree.
of these dudes named John Smith? If either of these guys are John Smith, I completely discredit the entire story.
Okay. All right.
And that guy on the bottom looks like he could be John Smith.
Don't be making fun of our military now. Come on.
John Smith, the helicopter pilot.
What do you mean our military? That's not our military.
Sure, they're affiliated in some way, shape, or form. They are the.
That's wildlife. That's
See, look at that photo. He's on there looking, going, "Hey, it's just HVAC duct."
yeah. That's why he's got hold of it at the top like that. Like, but he's not even looking down in it. He's like up there looking at the rocks behind it. If you look, his head's off to the side, turned over here, looking like I don't know what it really is, man. But do you see
He's
that
admiring-
over there?
He's admiring the bead seam that they put in there when they assembled the.
Go to their Instagram. There's a different photo.
Another different photo.
Yeah.
All right, so go to the Highway Patrol Instagram.
Yeah. Here, I'll give it to you. I'll put it right here.
I just clicked it.
Just click
Yeah,
on the
Highway
article.
Patrol. Yeah, Highway Patrol. Utah PSA Bureau. That's a different fucking view.
Where?
Okay, hold on a second. I got to get out of here. It's the second one on their page. Control.
It's the same photo. It's on the article page.
No, it's not. This dude leaning up against it. That's not in the article.
I don't see a photo of dude leaning up against a monolith.
Not on the.
And I'm on the Highway Patrol's Instagram page.
Yeah.
I see the same two photos that are in the article.
Well, I see two of the article. There's three, but I don't see the third one.
I think the first photo, the cover photo, is the other photo just cropped in.
You don't see this photo right here.
What are
I sent
is
you the
this-
link.
Is this in here? Are we in? Which one are we in? Where is
It's-
this link?
It's in you and me. I mean, the three of us.
And
What?
Oh, Jay Seven's here.
I have.
I didn't
oh,
read it.
hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I have
couldn't see.
Subaru BRZ stuff.
Underneath that.
I don't have. Oh, that little Pam.
What?
Click
Okay, I see the guy standing next to it.
Yeah, the second box
Oh,
right there.
that's different. That's a different.
Instagram.
Yeah. This
Oh, I said
is,
Instagram.
This is the.
Yeah, see, he's installing the HVAC duct.
Yeah.
How's this look, Mo?
Oh my
Like,
God!
is this
Look
good?
at this cute puppy.
That's my cute puppy.
He's so cute. Aww. So I've decided I'm getting a golden doodle.
All right. Congratulations on making a dog decision. I didn't know you were actually really into works for one, but
A golden doodle?
Yeah, it's a cross between a golden retriever and a poodle.
I feel so bad for the fucking poodle. Actually,
How's
the poodle's a fucking whore.
What?
Poodles are not friendly dogs.
But to take that dog in the little tiny poodle,
And give it a personality of a Labrador? Hell yeah.
that bitch is a whore. But
Well, poodles
sorry,
aren't
yes, little dog.
necessarily
Little
small.
tiny dog,
There
little-
are different types of poodle. There's a
Yes.
standard poodle and there's a miniature poodle.
well, yeah, there's a lot more poodles too, but we're not going to go down the entire poodle gene.
Well, the one that I want would be like a standard sized poodle with a Labrador with a golden retriever.
Labradoodle. Yeah, they're cute dogs.
So I'm getting a golden doodle, not a Labradoodle.
Well,
Yeah.
No, let's see.
a good doodle.
Yeah, okay. Less furrier. I mean,
Mhm.
just yeah. What do they get to be about? 2 feet high?
About, yeah. The
Yeah.
one
So that's not a
about
kick. That's not a punt kick.
55 to 80 pounds.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
how big the standard gets.
Yeah, that's about the size
Yeah.
of my dogs.
yeah, double
Yeah.
size
It's the
30.
size of Otis. Otis is 80 pounds. Well, probably about 75 right now.
Adult medium sized golden doodle, 30 to 45 pounds.
No, I hate I didn't get to watch the Philip DeFranco show before we got on here.
Maybe it's the poodle who
Is there a
Did-
reason we're boycotting Dave Chappelle? Does anybody know anything
What?
about that?
no, what?
No.
Why not?
see, and I've got a title here that's got Dave Chappelle on it, Philip DeFranco on it, and it says "Boycott Dave Chappelle" and exclamation mark. So I don't know.
What?
See, I didn't get to pay attention earlier today when this came on because Destiny was part of my grind today.
Netflix removes Chappelle Show from service upon request from David Chappelle, who blasts Viacom CBS for licensing his show without paying him.
Oh shit.
Oh, nice.
Chappelle has made it clear he did not approve of Viacom CBS licensing his Comedy Central series Chappelle Show without paying him a dime.
Yeah.
Comedian spoke about it during his recent Saturday Night Live monologue, and now he has done something about it.
Ha 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 ha.
He did mention that during his monologue.
Yep.
That he mentioned it multiple times. He was like, "Hey," but it sounded like he was plugging it. You know, like he was like, "You can check out my show on Netflix, even though I'm not getting paid for it." Ha ha! Like he was making a joke about it, and now I guess
Yeah, he was
he
making that type
decided-
of joke about it. He was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
can you imagine
Sarcastic.
people? Can you imagine Dave Chappelle not getting paid for something that was out there of his?
yeah.
I mean,
I didn't realize he was salty about it though. I thought he was like taking it in stride. But
wait, hold on.
So
we
Wait,
are.
hold on. The
So-
guy who I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah, so
but
what?
he's already rich.
So what?
Like,
Yeah,
he's
but does that
already
mean
mega rich.
he's just giving away to CBS?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I understand.
He's got
I
a
would-
family to take care of.
Yeah,
Probably
I
great kid.
understand.
Well, he's
but, like,
also
at
got
the
a
same
reputation to uphold too. And Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle for the Chappelle show,
Huh.
like that show represents a big chunk of Dave. And Dave's
does.
like, nah, you're not doing that, bro. That's
And that
imagine.
Yeah. That show in particular, though, like if you've watched any of the episodes recently, it's like so quaint how it feels quaint now because so many other shows have used the same template. And like just how influential it's been. Like I know when I was in like high school, we were like, I'm rich, bitch. Like I'm
Right.
Rick James and the whole thing. And like people are still talking about it. It's pretty wild.
Actually, Battlefield Bad Company 2, the origination of the FYC group, is for Fuck Yo Couch.
Fuck your couch.
That's where it started, was with Dave Chappelle's Fuck Your Couch.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Kinda
Rick
like a little-
James, yep.
fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch, nigga.
They should
So-
have never
I really
gave you
love the
money.
Rick James bit when he's like, yeah, you know, I got a little more sense than that. I wouldn't just go and grind my feet on somebody's couch. Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on his couch. Like the next breath.
That's right.
That was
That's right. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, right.
why? Because he could buy another one. That's why. It's like, what?
You know, speaking of comedians and especially ones we like, I know fucking Thump is a Bert Kreischer fan. Has anybody watched The Cabin?
Yeah, dude. I
On
watched it when it
Netflix?
first. I watched it when it first dropped.
Yeah, me too. I've
Dude.
been waiting to talk about it to
Dude,
somebody.
that
The first 3 episodes will have you laughing so hard that you're crying your eyes out.
the picture of him and Bobby Lee on the fucking bearskin rug, dude.
Can I join in? Yeah, sure.
He just
The black
fucking-
dude walks in and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck?
He's
I'm
like,
out.
this is why I don't fucking hang out with y'all.
I did not sign up for this. This is why I don't hang out with fucking you." Oh, it's so funny. If you haven't watched it, just watch the first 3 episodes. I guarantee you, I promise you, tears pouring out of your eyes.
I mean, if you have the opportunity to catch one of his drive-in shows that are popping up everywhere, go, because they're hilarious. He's had Tom Segura at a couple of them here lately. He's had Christina P. back out doing shows. Like, he is kind of keeping working theater comics going right now. The ones that want to go do stuff between him and Dave, because Dave's got it all going on his property,
Yeah.
you know. So between the two of them, they're really carrying that public, like, venue comedy, they're keeping it alive, man. Keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ren, I mean, if you know, like I said, if you want to laugh, the premise of this show is, I mean, like Trump just said, Christ is all over the place. It's non-fucking stop. He's burning himself out, and that's the whole premise of the show. Is he's gonna go in a fucking cabin in the woods for like 2 months and just
That's what he told his wife anyway.
right and just veg and
I
just.
think I've seen a few of these.
So he gets up there, and the first thing he does is start calling all his friends.
Yeah.
It's fucking hysterical.
And then he calls his wife and goes, "All right, so you know what I said about what I was gonna do?" He was like, "This is what I'm gonna do. It's a
Yeah.
show now, and this is what's happening. I know you said I was working too much, and I know I said I was gonna come up here and I was gonna take a little bit of time off, but
and it just goes
so
off.
this is what's
rails.
happening now."
Goes off.
It's called The Cabin, right?
Yeah, the cabin with Bert Kreischer. Blah.
But
It's
yeah.
funny.
So it's like a reality show, or
Yeah,
It's-
kind of,
it's
sort of.
set to
It's
be-
it,
yeah.
yeah. It's weird. Like he has
Set to
two
be.
people show up every episode, or a person show up every episode, where
Mhm.
they hang out with him and they do something
Okay.
that's in some cases it's supposed to be relaxing. Like they get these massages, but
What?
yeah, like there's a bunch of things that go on during this. Like you just gotta watch it, but
The
you just
chick episode is great too. the-
yeah, because
With the two chicks.
well, it's
This was just released in October.
he
5
gets
episodes.
he
Yeah.
gets Caitlyn Jenner
Yeah.
and what's her name? Damn it, this stand-up
Penny.
comedian. I can't remember her name.
Penny, Nikki Glasser, right?
Yeah, Nikki
Pen-
Glazer.
Penny. Right?
Who?
Penny. Isn't it Penny from? Oh no, the
I was
stand-up
like, that's
comedian.
Kelly.
Yeah. Right.
Kluko.
Mm-hmm. My bad.
But
Nikki
no,
Glaser.
it's Glazer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the
Actual-
two of them hanging out with Bert that day, and that's interesting. Nikki didn't ever think that her and Caitlyn would be friends, but they were really good friends by the end of it. Loved each other to death. So
Didn't they fucking exchange phone numbers and Facebook within like 3 minutes?
yeah, and had already decided that they were keeping Bert as far out of the loop as they could.
Yeah.
Like,
It's great. It's great. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's 5 episodes. It's 2.5 hours of your life, if that.
also, if you didn't keep up with Letterman,
Oh yeah, that's great.
like go and catch up on those two because
Yup.
that's good stuff.
My
So
next no introduction.
what?
My next guest needs no introduction.
Oh yeah, that's what the show is called. I need to catch up on that.
He dropped a whole nother season.
It was
Oh my
it was nice
God,
to see
wow.
him do Kanye back when he did Kanye and then turn around and hit Kim up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
I
Yep,
was, I
did
was
well
like,
of
that's a
this.
perspective that
Yeah.
I bet nobody was ready for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kanye is an interesting person. You know,
When
like
he did Kanye, Kanye was interesting, but Kanye wasn't running for president. Kanye, not like when
2024.
not when Dave got hold of Kim. That was actively happening. Like they talked about the what is it, hologram of her dad on Letterman.
yeah.
So that was like a whole recent event. So he didn't catch Kanye during that. Kanye was there, but he didn't like the Kanye he talked to was pre-presidential running Kanye, was
Yeah.
church focused Kanye.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not too
Right.
long ago,
Right.
Kanye.
No, it's not
That's
too
like,
long ago, Kanye.
yeah.
This is Kanye's like on his church, you know, that the place that he's built.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's an amazing venue. But
hmm Yeah, I found that. I mean, I know that his mom was really religious, and I know that, like, when his mom passed away, like, that's really what began his kind of, shall we say,
spiritualization.
No, not even. Like you know how he does just weird stuff? Like he puts out amazing music and then he does weird stuff.
Like make
Like
Yeezys.
Yeah.
like like go on Twitter, like say he's running for president, right? And then in the same speech talk about how he and Kim almost had an abortion and then start crying and then like go on Twitter and have a whole like fight with the mom and you're like, "What? I thought you were running for president. What are you do? What is all this? This doesn't make any sense."
It was.
Like,
Did you ever get around to watching the Joe Rogan Experience interview with Kanye?
no,
Okay,
but I
that's
have
another one
to.
that you need to add to your
Yeah.
little list. Like it's
Mhm.
definitely s- Kanye through this past year has been an
Mhm.
interesting character for me to observe because of all of his various interactions, like how close and tight knit he is with like people like Elon Musk, and
Mm.
Yeah.
how what Kim was doing in the White House with criminal reform and stuff like that. Like it was weird over these past couple of years seeing that
Yeah.
family's like kind of influential involvement in the world,
Yeah.
and it's like okay, I need to find out a little bit more about this person if this is the role that they're going to be taking on. So
Yeah.
I started diving in, and like anytime I got a little bit of a like, I don't want just crazy Kanye. I want to see some people actually sit down and ask him some real questions and give him an opportunity to explain himself.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's just and if you hear him out, I have not watched the one you're talking about, but I've watched a number of interviews with him
He's a million
where
miles an hour, man.
yeah.
Ritalin will do that to you.
Yeah, I think that's part of the issue though. He doesn't really take his medication.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's definitely diagnosed bipolar, but he's
Yeah.
also said that like when he does take the medication, and which is a common side effect of people that end up having down this route, especially with somebody who would be as creative as Kanye is. Definitely creative. We can't take that away at all.
Yeah.
But that medication kind of shuts that part down, and
Yep. Yeah, many people have said that. They
he's
take the
like that side's
medication.
just not, losing that side's just not worth it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like he said something along the lines of like when I took it, all I could do was sit and like exist and I couldn't do anything else. It's like, okay, yeah, I understand why you wouldn't take that. Like I wouldn't want to feel that way. So,
Right, and to
especially
put
someone as
yourself up as a
creative as
guinea pig,
him.
yeah, and to put yourself up
Yeah.
as a guinea pig to just let them keep like doing the medicine, changing the medicine, doing the medicine, changing the medicine, doing the medicine, changing the medicine. It's one of those cycles that like big pharma gets people stuck into.
Uh-huh.
So at that point, you also are like majorly sympathetic to the idea. You're like, all right, I mean,
Yeah.
a guy who definitely may, for balance, need some sort of medication, but to just have to go through all of this willy nilly with like no real ability to hold on to who you are and maintain a level of balance.
Yeah.
So it's just like, holy shit, I couldn't imagine. Especially with somebody who's got the money he's got, like he could definitely like get it sorted out. He could afford to get it sorted out, but what are the sacrifices that he'd make in the time of trying to do that?
Yeah, and the other thing is, if he were just like a regular person, you might say, your family would probably intervene and be like, hey, you're taking this medication, period, because you have to.
Right.
But he is like Kanye West. So everyone around him are people that basically he employs.
Yeah.
So they don't really go out of their way to push him towards, really doing anything different. It really has to come from him, and
Right.
I guess his wife, you know. Uh, So I get it. He's just an interesting person,
To
just for those reasons.
to sit down and actually listen to that other interview of with like full string like presidential talking like about what his intentions with why he ran. Like
Yeah.
cuz that was, he was like, "Why are you doing this?" That was like one of the first things he hit him right in the face with it. Like the very first question, he goes, "What the hell?" He's
Yeah.
like, "Why are you doing it?" And so
Right.
he was like, "I just, he's like, this is probably a question that a lot of people want to know." And it's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And so to sit and then like, JRE is always like a 3 hour conversation. So to have them go over that next time span and just like some of the conversations of what they delved into about, him and the medication, him and his political stance and views and handlings of things and his future outlook mentality and some theories that he has just about the way the world could work. You know, it was way interesting to see somebody fire off like that because you can tell he's just constantly got like something fucking going on.
Mm.
You can. I mean, you can tell that without hearing him explain anything. Like if you pay attention to his music, there's so much going on with his music. A lot of the tracks are just like human voices that he's made sound like instruments.
Mm.
They're when you think back to how influential he's been to R&B and to hip hop, like the whole thing of having like gospel sounds and uh really like old school gospel mixed in with rap and hip hop was not even a thing before he came out with 808s and Heartbreak, and people were like, what is this craziness? And then a year later everybody was doing it,
Yeah.
and then he did it again when he came out with Yeezus. He had this whole like industrial electronic thing mixed with hip hop. And again, people were like, what is this nonsense? And then a year later, you got The Weeknd. So like,
Speaking of,
yeah.
Grammy nominations are out, and the weekend Blinding Lights got snubbed.
It did?
And
I'm shocked.
Shucking all.
I'm shooketh.
I mean, the whole album got snubbed. I mean, he won it last time. Was last album. He tweeted out earlier in the day today, right before we went on air. The Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency.
I kind of agree with that because he was the #1 charting artist all over throughout the entire year.
For like the last 2 years, but yes.
And that album was fire. Did you
Yeah.
guys listen to that album?
album was fire.
No, she's right.
Like, it
Nothing
was
right.
straight fire, start to
Yep.
finish.
I mean-
I'm not playing around.
Yep.
No,
Well,
not a joke.
Freaking fucking rock band on every
So
song.
there is no humor in my statement.
Oh, yeah, he
I
got
know I'm a
snubbed.
comedian, but that was not a joke.
Yeah, he's not happy about it either.
Of course, yeah, I understand. Like, I would be pissed if I were him because he was top of the Billboard ever since that album came out. It came out at #1 and it stayed in the top 10 since then. So that's bullshit.
I
I
know.
agree.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
He's pissed. I'd be pissed too.
I'd be annoyed.
I mean,
too.
it's perfectly logical.
Yeah, it's the Grammys. I mean, Jesus Christ, they just gave fucking Governor Cuomo an Emmy. I mean, what kind of fucking shit is that?
For what? For his like
For his
Like
For his
Warning
daytime
update?
for his daytime
his-
TV performances.
yeah, his daytime TV performances, all 117 of them.
Oh man, one, I have to admit, I do like his updates. I especially love the parts when,
See?
yes, I was about to say, I especially love the parts when the press ask him questions. They're just like the way he responds is so funny. He's just like, I know you're stupid, so I'm gonna say this slowly. Like,
Yeah, he pretends he's really from Brooklyn when he's from Long Island. Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
what?
yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, okay, all right, thank you.
You know, Jesus Christ, it took fucking Susan Lucci 30 years to get an Emmy, and they give this stupid fuck one right off the bat.
I I don't know that I agree with that, but
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I watch all his updates
See,
because
and that's all it
they're
takes. You got to be big in the right. You got to be big in the right market.
Millennials,
they're just
the new generation.
Talk
hilarious.
about it.
Like,
Talk about it being rigged, man.
like
Yeah.
when
You can only win for being on New York television daytime.
like when coronavirus first became a thing, like, and New York was shutting down basically. Like, people were not really on board at first. People were just like, what the, like, what do you mean I need to wear a mask
What do you
and I
mean,
need
New
to
York? New York does not stay in the what?
Yeah, we were like, what the fuck? And
Can't go to the bodega. What?
he had
I
this
got a
whole
sandwich down there. I
presentation.
need.
So, it came out that, like, of course, younger people were like, I'm not getting this shit. Whatever. I'm gonna go and do whatever I want. Just, stay away from old people or whatever. Like, it's gonna be fine. And then he came out with his very kitschy, like, PowerPoint presentation. And there was just one slide that was like, you are wrong.
Just so you know.
I was like, okay, I guess I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. So, I don't know. I didn't realize that doing like updates on TV counted as like entertainment.
Daytime
And,
performances.
yeah, but I guess they do. I mean,
Yeah, well, because he's, he put on his best acting show. There's no doubt about that. He got fucked the other day, which was pretty good when he was talking about Thanksgiving. He spent it with his family, and then his mother's like, I ain't coming to your house.
he's been talking about it though.
Yeah, no. He's
Yeah.
going to work through Thanksgiving, and, oh, by the way, if your neighbor has more than 10 people, call this phone number.
Oh man, is it that way in New York? Because I know California.
Well, that's what Cuomo
California
did, yeah.
is 6 people.
Yeah, Cuomo, it's 10 people, and Cuomo came out and said, keep an eye on your neighbor and, fucking turn him in.
Well, California,
Yeah.
California was one of the first to put out that snitch number here. Call on your fucking people if they're doing
Yeah.
things that are wrong. But
Well, you don't follow suit. You knew it was wrong there. What the fuck did you follow suit for?
it's so weird. I
Mm.
couldn't imagine being in those areas. Like, what you
Fuck
see here is a
Democrats, the
uptick
right
in mask
person.
wearing. People are going, here comes Corona again.
Mhm.
Like here comes a little uprising.
Mhm.
So everybody's masked up. We're like, everybody at work, like you don't see. There is not a clean face in the house. Everybody is up in this motherfucker. We all got nice masks. Everybody's got them dedicated to different shit. North Carolina has
Oh, okay.
North Carolina has settled into mask wearing. We're good.
That's good.
Yeah, we're doing fucking shit though. We're not keeping it fucking closed. We're doing shit.
Are schools open?
No, they were they on Thanksgiving for the Thanksgiving holiday. They will be shut down from the day after till December 4th. So they're going to shut down for a week, and it's kind of quarantining when you go and be around your family. They're going to kind of quarantine you for the next week or so before they let people come back to classes.
Okay. Yeah, in New York City, they're closed until I mean, they need to stay closed until the positivity rate is down to under 3%.
Yeah, but anytime you isolate the population and then reintroduce the population to each other, you're going to get a spike in rates.
Yeah.
These numbers still don't make sense. You do realize that. Just
Yeah.
look at your own state numbers.
Yeah, I mean, what they need to do is they just need to kind of get ready to ride it out however it's going to be ridden out and quit going back and forth. If they're going to shut you up, your state needs to pay for y'all to stay home. And then if they can get the government to figure it out on the federal end, then the federal government can reimburse the states for what they got to do. But if it's got to be a state-by-state commitment to keeping people home and paying them to be there, then your state governments need to start taking care of it.
Yeah.
I
And
agree
that
with
is
that.
a plea to all of the states out there,
Yeah.
mine included, that if you do decide that you're going to shut things down, make sure you do it right. And you're responsible for it, not the federal government. We don't need that. We can handle these things internally if we think that's what needs to be done.
Yeah, and the money will come back anyway. I mean, that's like states have already borrowed. Jersey borrowed against it. They paid people unemployment above and beyond the employment that the government deemed was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? New Jersey was like, all right, fuck it. We would do this. We'll do that. We'll borrow this. We'll get $9.9 billion and we'll extend unemployment. Yeah, we can't give you the fucking 600 extra, but we give you 400 extra. We could do that. It's still something, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And that's what the government did here. Our state government borrowed $9.9 billion against their federal debt for next year.
Right.
That's crazy.
Well,
Which-
I mean,
Did they-
it's
did
moves that
they-
had to be made on an individual level because when you look at the country as a whole being shut down, that can't go from March until November.
Yep. Don't disagree.
Yeah.
Don't disagree.
Like there's no way that can continue. If you got hot pockets, which we can kind of see where they're at, you can close those down. Let the states
Yeah.
take care of them. You
Yeah.
know? And especially if you put it more on the states to have to handle the situation, I think you'll get better control overall.
That's why I'm a little glad that the transition is starting to happen in our government because now is not the time to fuck around.
Yeah. True.
Did that happen last night that he finally
Yeah.
decided to start? Because up until
Yeah.
I went to work, still was of the mindset that he was still holding things up. And then when I got to work and I spoke to somebody, he said on the way into work he was hearing that he had finally started to move with transfer of power. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah, well, transition.
Yeah.
Basically getting Biden involved in what's going on in case the chances are that Biden is actually the president who was elected.
Oh, in the off chance that
On-
that's
Yeah,
actually
in the off
the
chance
case.
that
Well,
all of
yeah.
the facts don't stay facts.
That's right. Don't be surprised if this still makes it to the Supreme Court.
That's
but
right. Don't be
now
surprised
it's
if
not
there are
the
still
time
alternate facts.
around. We have,
Alternate facts. That's so crazy.
we have a pandemic.
Remember when that term was first coined out there? Alternate
Yes,
facts?
it was Kellyanne Conway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who came up with, those are alternative facts, not.
You
The
get the point.
lingo,
The
the
point is-
lingo
the
that
point
we've
is-
gotten out of this presidency, you gotta give it to the lingo.
the point
I
is-
actually really like Kellyanne Conway. I, of course,
she's
don't agree with
shit.
anything, but she's insane and she's crafty, and I actually like that.
she's
like-
got,
She's like, I
she's
got respect
power.
for her. I just don't. We don't get down on the same buffet.
That
Yeah,
walks in a room and she commands fucking attention. It's
and
amazing.
her strategy works.
Yep.
Like, when say I'm asking you, hey Webby, don't you think it's weird that, your background looks like a city, yet the city's falling apart? You're gonna be like, you know what is falling apart? This city's marriage institution, that's what's falling apart. And you're like, what? That's not what I asked you. What are you saying right now? But it would be rude for the interviewer to continue asking the same questions. So
Sure.
she got away with it.
Yeah,
She got away with it. I was like, this bitch. Like,
She commands a room. It's
hmm.
amazing. It's amazing. That's a woman in power right there. That's definitely a woman in power.
I just thought of Cartman. I do what I want.
Biden should hire her for something.
That would be interesting. I mean, he won't, but that would be interesting.
No, he's going to make sure he just keeps putting, oh, you worked for Obama? I got a job for you. Okay, I got a job for you, and I got a job for you, and the
You
government
know,
he has hired 1,000 fucking people to all these task forces. Task force. We need a task force for that. We're going to pay them government money when the entire country has been saying our government spends too much fucking money. But he's going to hire 1,000 people across the board to work in the government to be on his various task force.
well, you know what? One criticism of the Trump administration was that they had open roles for stuff and they
Yes,
just never filled them.
right.
So I guess this
there
is
was
just the
task force.
opposite
They f-
approach
He
to
focused
that.
more on judges, to be honest with you. If you look at
Yeah.
Trump's tenure, he focused on judges around the country. He put a lot.
387? 387, if I'm not mistaken. Fact check me on that one.
Yeah,
But
I know it was some ridiculous amount because he said it was silly that Obama left all those spaces open, and
Yep.
he turned around and focused on, well, essentially filling them all.
Entire country.
Yeah.
Was the plan, and yeah, that was where his
194 of the 792,
yeah.
1/4 of the judges have been put in place by Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean that's a tremendous amount of like
Yes, but let's
judges
not forget
appointed
the
to
fact
positions.
that's true. But let's not forget the fact that there was also a lull in appointing judges towards the end of Obama's term because
The
Mitch
holdups.
McConnell
Yeah, because of the holdups.
wouldn't
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You're talking one.
No, I'm talking several.
Okay. Barack Obama put a shitload more in than Donald Trump did.
Yeah,
From
but
the
all,
Okay.
all at the beginning of his tenure would have been where that was, and then the spots that became available in the last year, none of those were moved on.
Jimmy
Right.
Carter, one judge.
One Supreme Court justice, or just
One, I don't know.
one-
I do not know. All I know is number of active judges appointed, and this is across the entire United States. Federal judges. That's who our government installs as federal in every state.
Yeah.
And then you've got your federal levels of the government law offices. Jimmy Carter 1, Ronald Reagan 18. Okay, 18. That's 2 share of all active judges. George H.W. Bush 14, 2 share. Those are Republicans. That's 4 Republicans across the country at that time appointed. Bill Clinton 87, 11 of them Democratic. George W. Bush 166, 21 Republican. Barack Obama 312,
Woo!
39% Democratic. Donald J. Trump 194, 24% Republican.
Obama was
I
put-
think Jimmy Carter is at the top, right? With the number of judges appointed during his presidency? Or am I mistaken?
No, Carter's 1.
no, that's active.
Carter's
That's
One
active
judge.
judges. That's active judges.
no, the number of people that he appointed.
Oh, I don't know that. That could be.
Let's see. Judgeship appointees by president.
So that makes up all 700 and what did I say it was? Did I say? I can't remember now.
You did, but I don't remember the
Yeah.
exact
Yeah, I don't
number.
remember the exact number, but yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
probably yeah. You gave us a breakdown of who all elected the active judges,
Okay.
and that's
Trump is-
still a
Well,
ton
still
for that's still a
sports.
ton for Obama to have 300 and some appointments though.
Yeah,
Trump,
that's very high.
Trump has appointed more appeals court judges than any other president since Carter. Oh, here, Jimmy Carter, 243 total. Is that what this is saying?
Jimmy Carter.
That's still below the Obama number though.
Yeah, but now I'm seeing different numbers here, so I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding the charts here. Federal judges present during each of the president's 4 years in office. Oh, so they broke it down differently. That makes no sense.
Oh, I think I found it. Wait.
Trump has appointed a larger share of female judges than any other Republican president.
He's also, like, not for anything, has been a leading advocate of female appointments into many prestigious positions across all walks of business and life. which is a
I
credit that he
think
was rarely given credit for. Rarely given credit for.
Well,
was it?
He was a glass breaker.
Mm,
Hmm. Okay. I think it's Jimmy Carter. He's
yeah, I
got
think so too.
yeah, and
Like
then
almost 700 appointments there if you go over the whole list.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's even more than on the appeals court level. But yeah, I mean, Trump's put a lot of
yeah.
fucking people in place. He did focus a lot on that. Thumb's absolutely right. He did
Well,
focus
it's
on.
just it's one of those lifelong things actually, which
Yeah,
is something that he doesn't get a lot of credit for. Has traditionally elevated s the most off people to the most on positions.
yeah.
The most off people?
Well, as
Like, do you
far as
mean like minority?
off the status of what the job traditionally was, he's always been kind of outside the market of that, where he brings in, you know, new development along any
792, by the way.
pathway he can.
Yeah, his appointments are usually kind of like, huh?
Yeah,
So I see what you mean.
yeah. Because I'm not gonna say that all of them are like directly the same validation like of equality across the board. Because some of them are
Yeah.
just downright. You're like, what? I get it,
What?
but what?
Yeah, like, like, what is it? Ben Carson was like the secretary uh of urban development
Yeah,
or something like that. Like, what? What?
yeah.
Like, so yes, I see. Yeah, that's quite true.
But then in other avenues though, it's also been beneficial too.
Yo, how old is the judge the one active judge that's left that Jimmy Carter appointed? How old is that guy now?
Like 200 years
Oh,
old, I'm sure.
that
It's a
guy
vampire.
that guy is probably
Jimmy Carter was
97.
what, 76? 76 to 80?
I'm gonna say he's
So-
97.
Oh
God,
my God.
Come on, find out who the
I'm
judge is.
surprised they haven't pressured this person to step down. Because, they were pressuring Ruth Bader Ginsburg to step
Yeah.
down.
well, she
because,
was fucking dying of cancer for 20 years.
yeah, so they wanted
she had
her.
some different issues come up that were why they were like, "Are you sure you don't want to just take the time off? Like, are you sure? Like, you could definitely just live your life without having to go through all this shit."
I mean, that poor,
Yeah.
But she was
She
like,
survived
"No."
twice
She's
or
like,
something.
"This is the shit I like going through."
Yeah,
Ruth Gator.
that was wild.
Ruth should have stepped down years ago for her own well-being. Period.
Yeah.
Not for any
Yeah.
other reason. I mean, and a lot of people say that. If you read it, up on that, a lot of people say that. I mean, she was a trooper to the end,
She
fucking
was.
working her ass off in the judicial system. But
Yes, I agree. She was awesome, but I do feel like she may have just had a better net result, maybe,
yeah,
if she had stepped down a little bit sooner. Yeah.
agreed. I do agree.
What do you guys think of all the like last minute stuff that Trump is trying to push through before he leaves office?
It's customary that presidents do that. They try and get their agenda clear.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you don't even know. I mean, it's very publicized right now because it's Donald Trump.
Right.
A lot of things that were pushed through in the last 30 days, 45 days of administration's time, Obama, all of them,
The
all the way.
Clintons, the Bushes, there's always the last days, which is where like Carter was still working to get the hostage. He was still working to get the hostages back, even though Reagan had already taken the presidency.
Yeah,
like he was still actively working on that when transfer had already happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when that one guy gets credit for when it was the other guy who actually put all the work in.
The abolishing of the Russian spy system we have seems to be a hot ticket across social media.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think he?
I
What do you think of the? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna derail this whole conversation. Please continue.
No, what I think is I don't know what the replacement plan is. Everything that Trump got rid of, there was a replacement plan, with the exception of like two issues that I'm aware of. But there's always been a replacement plan. Do we have a new system that's being put in place that of course, they can't tell us just yet because it's
Right.
spy shit. But but this is highly publicized. Oh, well, here's fucking Trump setting himself up to go work with the Russians. That motherfucker's not going to work with the Russians. First off, he's going
He's
back
not.
to make more fucking money in real estate. You'll see he'll have a new fucking building pop up within 6 months of being just a common person again.
Mm.
He's going to take control of his businesses right from his kid. He's not ready to fucking hand it over yet.
Oh, that man's going back to work. Yeah.
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 I mean, his son should turn around.
President was a lull in him being able to make money. That's all that was. Now he's mad that there's so many people who've gotten so far out there in the world. Like Elon just got to be the second wealthiest with $100 billion in earnings increase this year.
Yeah, he just they put a price tag on his stock of $1,000 a share.
I really believe in the possibility that he's gonna do like Trump TV or some such thing. Like I know people are talking a lot about that, about how he's gonna potentially run in 2024 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he's
too fucking old.
I mean, Biden's old, you know.
Yeah, but only by 2 years, 3 years. We looked that up. 77 to 74.
Okay,
Trump
so
74, Biden 77.
Okay, so I'm just saying, if
so
there's
we
any
just need to-
possibility,
Hold on. The problem herein lies. The whole reason why Biden is the president right now is the Democratic Party knew 4 years ago they had nobody.
Right.
Just
that's why
like
they
the
put 20
Republican,
that's why there was 23 people.
just like the
in the original
Republican
ticket.
Party knows right now, they have nobody.
Well,
This goes back.
got a feel.
Webb, there is nobody who is anybody in the Republican side of government who can lead this country as of right now, nor in 4 years.
Nobody that they've got that they want to just put up there.
Yeah.
right? No one that we know of right
You
now.
know, just like on the Democratic side, there was nobody. The best
No, but
option they
Bert-
had was to take a former vice president who everybody knew and reestablish.
If not, Bernie
Government.
Sanders was going to be the president, and they didn't want that.
They had to reestablish government.
Yeah.
They had to reestablish the machine because the
Yeah.
machine was broken by Trump. Because you put just like when Reagan became president, everyone was up in arms because he was an actor. Granted, he
Yes,
was former
sure.
governor of California.
Well, so was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't want him as my president.
Yes, but Arnold
Yeah, but
Schwarzenegger never ran for president. Well, he
Well,
may
he
have run,
can't-
but
he
he never
can't.
had a prayer in hell.
No,
but-
well, he's got that cancer that he's dealing with right now.
So
Who?
they
Oh.
had to reestablish the establishment
Yes.
by putting Biden in office. So whatever you think as being a Republican or a Democrat, this was going to happen because of the machine.
So
It
Democrat
had nothing to do with anything, and it's going to happen again in 4 years. Or
When Donald
Kamala
Trump
is going to be
is president.
president because I still believe that we're going to have 4 presidents in like 45 days.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
in
I think-
45 days. What's
It was
gonna
a
happen
bet.
in
It was a
45 days?
It was
Okay.
a
There
bet
you go.
Yeah.
Trump resigns. Pence pardons Trump, becomes president so he can pardon Trump.
Yeah.
There's 2 right there.
Trump
Change
steps
Gives
down.
up the
Okay.
presidency to Biden. 25th Amendment's invoked 45 days after the election. Kamala's your president.
Yeah.
4 presidents, 45 days.
Yeah, I don't think it happens because I don't think Pence is good. Trump's not
I
going to
don't
make that.
Think, yeah, that's very far fetched.
Trump doesn't have to make that move now that,
Yeah.
the Democrats came out and said pretty much that they're not interested in going after Donald. Who do
Really?
we
You
really
spent
care?
4 years
Do we really care? I know they spent 4 years doing it, but transition of power. Think of this as like fucking Ford pardoning. I wouldn't be so. The best thing Biden could do is pardon Donald Trump. If
If-
Donald Trump doesn't,
It would bring
pardon
the
himself.
it would settle the base.
It would. It would. Like, if he really, I agree with that. If he really wants to do this whole, hey, I'm not just the Democrat president, I'm the Republican. I'm like everyone's president. I
Yeah,
forget his
I'm the
exact words
president.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America.
But like
president.
I'm
that would be a
America's
good thing to
president.
do. Right. I'm America's president. I'm not just the president of the people who voted for me, but I'm like everyone. Like, if he wants to do that, then that would be a good move. For
Mhm.
sure.
None of his plans have America first. We'll say that. Interesting.
Well, time will tell.
Well,
Yeah.
you read
We'll
his.
see.
None of it. He was even his fucking foreign policy plan that was unveiled is like, where's America first in this? So you're just gonna go
Well-
over there and lick ass with the Chinese worse, more.
What? What do you mean by
Seriously,
lick
man? What?
ass? Like, can you be more specific than that?
He's
I
gonna
mean,
go. Like
do
that
you need
with
to be
fucking
more
China.
specific than licking ass?
He's gonna
Yeah.
go to
Can
China,
you specify which cheek? No, I'm sorry.
go right back into bed with China. He is relaxing sanctions on Iran. Why? This is bad ideas.
Doesn't he want to reestablish the Iran nuclear deal? Or some version of it? I thought that's what he wanted. I thought that's what he said. I don't know.
It took 200 fucking years to get peace in Jerusalem.
Okay.
Okay? Trump can stamp his name to that. It wasn't all him. There has been these peace accords and treaties that have been talked about for fucking hundreds of years.
Right.
But it took 200 years to get it done. Iran ain't giving up dick to anyone. They already got their asses creamed twice. And they're not fucking letting anybody know anything and not letting anybody in do anything. Period. Iran's a problem.
Mm.
Okay, so are both fucking Koreans, North and South. Mix them back together and nuke them all.
South's not a problem.
No, I know.
Yeah, South not
I-
really a
South's
problem.
not a problem. But yeah, I mean, you can't just turn around and abolish things that have been done because you didn't like the other person.
Well, okay.
You can't
So
sanction China. I mean, what's next? Are you going to let Hanwei be a public company inside this country again?
Oh, you know it's coming.
Uh-huh. He's going to unban the 31 companies that are banned from doing business. and being
39.
39 now. We're up to 39. Thank you. From being able to do business in this country, delisted from the stock markets. Get the fuck out.
why are they banned again?
Because they funnel all their money to the fucking Chinese army.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Mhm.
They're
has
known
to
to have
be-
connections directly to the Chinese government, like
Or
directly.
it has something to do with cyber snooping. That's why
Well, it's
Hanwha-
not just cyber snooping. It's like that. All these Chinese companies are directly tied to the Chinese government. That's the problem. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's just the fact that everything about them funnels directly back to the emperor
That's it.
Well, apparently he's like,
or president,
well,
which I think is what he's called now. But
Yeah.
even though he's not
Yeah.
he's not actually a president.
nah. I mean, he's a dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they're actually, well, I think one of the things Trump is trying to do before he leaves office is actually expand that list, right? Like, make the list 89 companies with military ties.
Right.
Military ties and whether it be cyber or warfare or cyber warfare. That's why a lot of the computer companies are just get out. I mean, they pretty much fucking made IT companies march hand in hand through their IT departments, removing any equipment that had the name Hanwei on it. Bye-bye, out of the country.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think they should have went a little further. Now there's issues with the TVs too now. I'm reading again. I love my TCL TV, but reading a lot of shit going on there. I don't know.
Well, I don't think that's something Biden's gonna undo.
You don't know Look at the here's the biggest thing, okay? Everybody
Yeah.
voted for their president. Yay! You did your fucking civic duty. Now step up and
To
pay
the bare
attention.
minimum of your
Step up-
civic duty.
You know what? But step up and pay attention what happens.
Yeah,
Don't be one of
of
those
course.
people who go, I voted, Biden's my man. Well, look at the fucking people he's surrounding himself with. Right off the John Kerry for climate control? Did you even look at his resume? The guy is a fucking idiot when it comes to anything to do with carbon or fucking climate. He's a fucking idiot. But this is the guy who's going to head up your climate task. And then the other
Okay.
asshole, who's the other one? Anton, I forgot his name.
Well, what does he do?
Uh,
Or what did he assign him?
that's not Homeland Security. I can't remember. Adam Klitcher, Adam Kitchen.
Yes, yes.
Anton Kitchen. This is the fucking guy who was doing business with Biden. We should ask him where Biden is. Where's Hunter?
Does it matter?
Yeah, shady business. It matters.
Okay, well then, I don't know.
I mean,
I
you know,
don't-
the laptop was real, despite what fucking CNN or anybody else wants to throw at you. The laptop was real.
So what was on the laptop?
All the information about Biden trying to do dealings with the oil companies and getting his son involved and the energy companies with
Did anybody see that? though?
everybody saw it, but no one would
I-
put it out there.
Okay. Like,
New York Times had it. The Post had it. Post was the one who broke it. We know Giuliani had copies of it. Even your fucking Tucker dude from, what is that, Fox News? Carlson
Tucker
What's his name?
Carlson.
Right, okay. He had, that's the data he sent on a thumb drive that UPS allegedly lost.
UPS
You
lost
said
it?
allegedly lost and found again, though. When you told me the last time we spoke
Yes,
of this, you
yes,
said
it was
lost and
found
found
again.
again. And I'm
It
like,
was found-
this
that's
all
right.
seems to be bullshit.
It
Like-
sounds like BS.
like-
yeah.
And that sounded like a
conspiracy
PR
theories.
person talking
I'm
to
not
keep
what-
UPS's image clean on one level, and
I
then
gave the
Carson
quote.
and them trying to get a conspiracy rolling by saying, "Hey, it was replaced and put back."
I gave the air quotes. That's UPS's words that they lost it and found it. That was UPS's words.
I don't know. The whole thing sounds like bullshit. to be
I don't
honest.
disagree. I don't disagree. But you know,
Yeah,
You
but
can-
just for you to sit here and say, "Oh, it was copied and then put back," I mean, that's the conspiracy
lead a
theory
horse
side of
to
it.
water, but you can't make them drink.
Is it actually water? I guess that would be my question. Like, is it piss?
What-
Is it
yeah,
vinegar?
It
it-
was my
Can you
favorite meme.
verify?
It was my favorite meme. That says parents who actually you think your vodka's hidden, it's actually water.
Oh yes, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal
Yeah,
that.
but how true is it though across the board too? You know you would have there slide replace whoop whoop. Let me put this back in here to make that level back right again. Keep wondering why the vodka gets less and less potent every time you open it up. You're like, man,
Yeah, this tastes kind of weird.
getting
It tastes kind of watery.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
getting weak. Man, vodka's getting weak.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Well, I don't know. I guess I remain optimistic. As optimistic as one can be, given the year we've had.
Right.
You know?
And knowing that it's not really over yet either, because we got to get
It's
into
not.
we got to get now with the transfer. We got to get into the transfer part and what that's going to look like. And
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good thing is they did open up and he's getting his briefings now. But even they said that it's all bullshit anyway because the president's briefings are bullshit. It's here's what we're going to talk about today. There's a paragraph
mean,
on everything.
It's
One
not
paragraph-
just a couple of things there. It's not just the president's briefing.
Yeah.
It's access to all the
Yes.
people who are working on those briefings, right? And the access to ask them questions and just see what's going on. And secondly, I believe that the reason they're like a paragraph is because Trump wouldn't read them unless they were short
Yeah,
and mentioned his name
No,
more
they've
often.
al-
yeah.
they've always
Remember,
done
there
that.
was. Yeah, I was gonna say. Remember, they said they made modifications to the address to make it more palatable for him because he just wasn't engaged in what they were
Yeah.
giving him when he first took office.
Right, so they used baby words instead of big words, but it's still
And put his name there a lot more often to keep
Okay,
him
so it's-
keep him tied. You know, they wanna keep his attention on it. So they make sure to mention his name a whole lot
Could
because
you imagine it goes down the list? There's like a couple sentences. They're like, "Hey, Donald, keep reading." It says that on the page, just to keep him there. It's like, "Hey, Donald, you got to keep reading this."
this is no
Gets a
time
couple
to
more
think about the
sentences in. It's
curveball.
like, "No, Donald, seriously, there's no time. You got to keep reading this."
Next to
And
last
that's
paragraph. Stop thinking.
and there's
about
like
the
a cartoon in
curveball.
the middle. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah,
This is no time to be thinking about golf.
and it just says, "Pay attention, keep reading."
And tell me, somebody, please tell me, what mind clearing drugs is Joe Biden taking? Because whatever it is, I totally want them. And I think everybody in the United States should be on them.
Mind clearing drugs?
Yeah, he's got to be taking them like brain supplements he saw on fucking Home Shopping Network or something. Have you seen these commercials, Thump?
I've seen
At
the
all?
commercials, but more
Yeah.
to the point of like Biden
But
coming into
his-
office seems to be very clear.
His speech now is he don't stumble or anything.
Yeah.
I listened to him speak today and it was perfect, just like the last debate. Perfect.
They got his
Not a
meds balanced right.
Right?
That's awesome.
I want to know what he's
Finally
taking.
got his meds balanced right. I mean,
Yeah, that's
see,
awesome.
see, Kanye, there's hope.
Yes.
Whatever drug he's taking for his cognitive thinking, I want it. I want it. I want
You
it.
know, that's I'm into that. Is
you,
it
you know what everybody's doing nowadays, right? You know you have access to it. It's all just HGH.
No, probably.
Oh, okay.
Probably, but that just rebuilds your testosterone.
Well, there's a lot to be said for what it revitalizes.
Yeah, yeah,
It-
sure.
It does a whole lot. It does a whole lot more than that.
Okay.
Okay. Is there like a version of that for people who don't need any extra testosterone?
There are a lot of HGHs out on the market that are tailored for a lot of various uses.
Okay.
Some that are
Yeah,
not
I
testosterone induced.
Hmm.
Yes, there's a lot of stem.
Interesting.
There's a lot of stem cell stuff out there that's become available, and then a lot of other things as well. But
Hmm.
yeah, medical science on that end is actually pretty unique. They're saying if you can make it to
Interesting.
they're saying if you make it to 2050, you might actually be able to like live forever.
Mm,
If you can make it to 2050.
I am so excited about that. You don't even know.
uh-oh.
Definitely be alive in 2050. Unless I do something crazy and, you know.
Unless
Jump
something
off a
crazy, unless
bridge
something
or-
crazy happens, and
Yeah.
nobody makes it.
Right.
Like you can't stop that one
Damn.
either. It's like, damn, everybody but
25th.
me.
I might be on my last legs in 2050.
I mean, 2050's definitely a bit of a hike.
Yeah, I'll be 80 something.
It's
Yeah,
20. You might be alive.
depends.
I'll be 81.
If Biden makes
No,
it through
I'll be
presidency,
71.
I'll be dead by the end of it.
I'll be 71 in 2050.
Yes, you will, sir.
No, I'll be like middle aged. I'll be like, yeah, that's 20 years from now. So I'll be like in my 50s. I'll be good. I'll still be like,
30?
that's
Oh,
pretty-
30
you'll
years
you'll
from now?
finally be a boomer.
whatever boomers are called.
Yeah, whatever
and
whatever an okay boomer is at that point.
Right?
At that point, yeah, yeah. I'll be good. I'll be like, 50
Well,
still young.
Also,
Kinda.
the
No, not
point
really.
the point of what they're saying though too is just like we're seeing this development in stem cells and HGHs and stuff like that they're able to use to kind of like bounce back. They're saying even if you do hit like 100-year-old you that makes it to 2050,
Hmm.
that it's probable that what they would be working on essentially is battling the deterioration part. I heard really interesting.
Yeah.
I heard it and being able to get you back from that, so you won't be 100-year-old decrepit you for the rest of your life. You'll actually regain cognitive use of yourself, and
That's amazing.
yeah, they're saying eventually what they're looking at is an ability to pause. And what I heard a perspective today that was really interesting about DNA being the omnipotent eternal life, because the vessels each die and deteriorate, but DNA has found a way to spread itself through all of the process of like making humans reproduce at a certain point in life, so that the cell degradation isn't or whatever, and there's a new max potential each time, and that us in our evolution meeting up with those 2 points, kind of trying to give DNA a permanent place to hang out.
I love that. I'm kind of obsessed with this idea, like, because, like, how does life change if we live either really long lives, like, longer, far longer than 100,
Well, some of the
or
biblical lifespans were 300 and plus years. I mean, there's documented supposedly through ancient kings that had thousands of year reigns on this planet over humanity. So,
That's true.
yeah, like, so who's to say that we aren't capable of possibly actually doing that shit? Maybe it's not just a story.
it is. And you know what? You've probably read, like, there's no real reason why aging needs to happen, right? Like, the degradation of your body isn't something that
It's almost like a side
has,
effect that can be treated.
yeah, right,
Almost. Like, we haven't figured it
right.
out yet, but that's what this theory revolves around.
That's a little much, no?
No. Okay. So to move into sci-fi territory for a second, have you guys watched
Back to the
what is that show?
monolith. Here we go.
Yeah, right. Back to the monolith.
All right.
Altered Carbon?
Oh yes, we
Oh.
talked a lot about it actually on the show back when it had first dropped. So
Then they canceled it.
yeah.
I can't believe they can't. That show was awesome. Both seasons are
Cost
really
too much to make, and they didn't want to
good.
invest money in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do. Yeah, Netflix has a quality over quantity issue, I think. But
Yes.
like, um,
Question: did anybody else start playing Razel?
No.
I know Ren. You said you were going to check it out.
I did. I'm
Mm,
like level 8 or 9.
Yeah,
And-
it's interesting.
And Netflix business model, I thought, was absolutely fucking brilliant. We'll invest mad money into a show that we can't fucking afford or don't
mhm.
fund, but we'll
And
we'll fund it for 2 or 3 years. Jessica Jones, The Carbon, Ozark, and we'll get all you suckers to fucking buy in. And at that time, we'll invest in our own companies to make our own fucking movies and pay fucking actors to portray in those movies. And it only costs us half of it because it's our fucking money and we're paying ourselves. And then we'll cancel all the shit that we don't fucking want to spend $100 million on. And now we've got 144 million subscribers.
But weren't they producing all that stuff in the beginning anyway?
No, they were buying everything from everywhere. Netflix originals were like from Canada.
Did you guys ever watch? It was like one of the first Netflix originals. That crazy show from the Wachowskis, Sense8.
Yes.
That show was nuts. Okay, I loved it, and then they canceled it, and people went online and were like, they canceled it after the second season ended with a cliffhanger.
Of course.
Okay. And then people went online and people lost their shit because they were like, what the fuck? And then they were like, yeah, we kind of can't afford it. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a 2-hour movie to close out the story. And I hope you enjoy that.
Mini episado. Yeah. Yeah, it was a brilliant fucking move. I mean, they got more subscribers than any other streaming service. And remember, this coming from a company that would mail you DVDs in the mail and never turned a profit.
Yeah. I mean, they did end up putting Blockbuster out of business.
Company never turned a profit. Delivering CDs, DVDs to your door.
Well, yeah, it was kind of too good to be true at first. I remember. I think I was one of the.
I put the locks on the local hub, like that stored the place that stored all the DVDs.
Yeah.
I was like one of the first subscribers. Like I was in like.
Who wasn't? You had to have been.
In my junior year of high school or something. And it's like, oh my God, they're just mailing me DVDs. What is this craziness? I'm not going to Blockbuster.
I remember ordering CDs through. I mean, it was
Columbia House.
Whoever you decided to order through, you could get them. Like there was always some kind of little
10 for a penny.
Yeah,
that was wild. But they ended up
10 more at $20.
They ended up putting Blockbuster out of business, but not before Blockbuster tried to buy them, even though they weren't turning a profit.
Yep.
And they were like, nah, bitch.
All the Blockbuster boxes popped up all over the place, too, because they tried to form themselves into a competitor and put themselves out when Redbox went out as well.
They had a streaming service, too, Blockbuster Video Online, and I think even Walmart fucking bought into it. And then when it went up, Walmart scooped up the rest of it and had their video on demand, which they promptly closed like 8 months later.
Yeah, they couldn't, like you said, it was really hard to make the whole thing profitable. Netflix just stuck it out by acquiring all those TV shows and getting us to binge shit. Like, binging was a Netflix invention. Like, no joke. It was like you would do it before, kind of, when you would get a bunch of DVDs, but you couldn't do it in the same way that you could do it with Netflix. There was nothing else like it. I remember when this started happening to me, and I was like, I haven't moved in like 2 hours. Shit, that's another hour that just passed. What's going on here?
Yeah, and then you realize that you've caught like the whole half of the season, and you're like, damn it.
Like, fuck. I feel like, and the crazy thing is, especially when you're watching something that's got, what's going on with you?
I don't know.
Me, I'm sorry. I had a fly on my screen. I had to squash it.
Oh, but now Thump is like totally out of focus.
I'm super blurry.
Oh, there you are. Okay. So like, especially when you watch a show that has lots of episodes and you're kind of watching the actors get older. But for you, it's an afternoon, you know? It's like, oh my God, look at his hair. Look at his hair. He just cut all his hair off. What happened? That's a very weird experience for me.
I didn't think about that.
Season to season jumps on things where you're like, what?
Yeah, like.
Well, that's like binge watching Harry Potter. Like, you know, you're watching him as an 8-year-old and all of a sudden he's 17. Like, what the fuck?
And he's got these giant muscles.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, backbreaker Potter.
Right.
Oh my God.
You're a strong man, Harry.
Fucking eye twitches back. It's driving me crazy. J7, you caught up on Mandalorian?
No, I'm not. I'm kind of saving
You saw next, Ren. You caught up on Mandalorian? Nope. And Thump, I know you're not watching it because you're not subscribed.
Because fuck Disney.
Fuck that shit. I'm I'm
No.
38 cents away from selling that stock and not turning a profit, but not taking a loss.
Okay, that's good.
You're gonna sell it? You shouldn't sell it.
That's what I told him.
Yeah. I need to free up cash to buy some Chinese companies. Period.
All right. So
All right.
sell NVIDIA, and there you go.
I ain't selling Nvidia.
No, you don't do that.
Why would you sell Nvidia? I'd
No,
sell
don't sell
Apple before I
Nvidia.
sell Nvidia. I'll sell my fucking measly little shares in Tesla before I sell Nvidia.
Well, there's your cash. Just sell what you have in Tesla. You've already made your money.
Yeah, that's true.
Money? Who made? I don't even. Well, yeah, I have. Yeah.
Tesla's making money hand over fist. The stock's still going up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, but yeah.
You shouldn't sell it. Have you guys? Did you?
I
did
would at
anybody-
least hold on to Apple till after the holiday quarter. That's all I'm gonna say.
I got my strike price on Apple. I'm going to be out at 130. Out the door.
I think the prediction the economists are making is that hopefully, once the vaccine rolls out and we have people vaccinated, we should have herd immunity by like next summer.
Keep thinking that.
That's what they're saying.
Should have been
I don't
next
know,
summer.
but yeah, but that's not gonna happen, obviously. Why? Okay. First of all, let's back up. Why would you think we'd have herd immunity this summer? That literally doesn't make any sense.
I know. I was just joking. Herd immunity should
Okay.
herd immunity should be now. We shouldn't be locked back in and telling people don't have more than 10 people over for Thanksgiving. Oh, by the way, anyone out there who wants to come to my memorial service for my pet turkey who died 3 days ago, it'll be at my mother's house tomorrow. Oh, excuse me, Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because you're allowed
So-
to gather in larger groups.
That's right. If it's a funeral, you can have 30 people.
That's
If
right.
it's Thanksgiving, you can only have 10.
That's right.
Because you can't get the virus after 10 p.m. at night, or the only time you can get it is after 10 p.m. at night. So we got to close all businesses by 10 p.m.
You know, that's interesting. I was actually at a restaurant outdoor, okay, maybe on Friday, and it was awesome, but they literally were like, we cannot even like bring you water after 10 p.m. We have to close
Yeah.
down
Get out.
at 10
Get out.
p.m.
Yeah. there's the door.
Otherwise, it's going to be an issue. I don't know what that's about. I think
Thanks for
my
fucking
thought
looking.
on it is that they don't want people congregating. Like I don't really understand what
Makes
that's all
no
about.
sense.
Yeah.
The whole thing is congregation. Everybody's fucking cramming into bars. And Ren Tesla is 555 today. They closed that. I own them at 444. How funny is that? It's not
So
free.
there's
That's not
your cash.
No, it's not. I own 25 shares. It's not freeing up money. Not freeing up money.
So
The whole idea of this 10 o'clock is bullshit. The whole idea of telling your fucking family you shouldn't get together for the holidays. What? Well,
I think that the
I
whole
mean, you already
thing.
know New Year's Eve is canceled, right? They haven't told you Christmas yet, but we'll hear that.
Everything is
Oh.
everything is canceled as far as
Yeah.
social gathering.
New York holiday. I'm not
Holidays.
gonna say it's different than any other state, but New York is a big fucking deal. The ball drops here.
No
ball
Thanksgiving
pit-
Day parade.
You know, they're
no
still doing the
Christmas Day
parade.
No,
They're still doing the parade.
what
The
parade?
parade's virtual. Half of it's virtual.
Well,
What?
they're having a parade, but
Yeah,
they're not
virtual.
gonna do it. Yeah.
You're not
You
gonna.
can't go there.
Well, you can. It's New York City. You can go wherever the fuck you want. There ain't nobody around.
Okay, so I actually live in New York City. I can tell you there are actually a lot of people here.
West Side
Like-
Drive is beautiful. There ain't nobody on it.
It's you know, I actually could deal with less people. I really, when I go outside, I have to put honest effort into staying 6 feet away from people. There are too many people.
I can just see her, Ren, moving left and moving right. So, stay. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see that where me and Red would be just like, get the fuck out of the way. I'm walking. I'm going. I'm going to fucking Starbucks. Get the fuck out of the way. Just keep going. Move. I'm not stopping for you. This is my lane. I'm walking. So wait,
Yeah, that's. Are you like? Have you been to New York? I feel like you live in this fantasy land where like
What? I was
people
in the
just do
city-
whatever you
I was in
want.
the city
You
a
know,
couple-
people will just walk right into you, right?
in the
Like
city-
people don't care.
I know. That's what I said. Yeah, that's why you just
Okay.
you do the same thing. You keep walking. I was in the city a couple days ago. Drove down the West Side Drive at about 110 miles an hour. Was nobody on the fucking road. Looped to the city. Parked. Had lunch. Met up with a friend. Chit chatted. And drove down the opposite side of New York City at another 110 miles an hour.
You went 110 miles? Damn.
It's fucking. There were no cars. There's nobody around. I mean,
Okay.
if you're in a residential area of the city, yeah, there's going to be people.
Well,
But
I don't really live in a
crosstown. You can go
residential
crosstown New York City in 7 minutes.
That's my character currently, Ren.
area.
7 minutes.
I live in not a super residential area, and I can tell
Right.
you there
You're
are
residential. So yeah, you got a lot of foot traffic, I'm sure.
not that residential. Like
No?
I live like 4 streets away from Grand Central,
Oh, okay.
and I can tell you there's a lot of people.
Well, sure.
There's-
You're in a major transportation hub. That's like saying, oh, I live close to Madison Square Garden. Of course there's going to be people there.
Yeah, I took the Hunter.
It's a major transportation hub. Grand Central.
And then when you go further east, and in Chelsea, Union Square, like Midtown is pretty like you wouldn't. The only way that you can really tell something's going on is by seeing the mask signs and seeing the people wearing masks.
You can't get into New York now without that. They're checking all bridges and tunnels now.
Yep. That starts what?
Today.
Today. That starts.
What are they making you do?
You got to provide a clean COVID test.
Yeah. I don't know.
From a different state if you're coming in from like
Can't come in
somewhere else?
from New Jersey.
Nope.
Can't come in from Connecticut. Can't come in from upstate.
Nope.
Wow. So what about all the people? Oh, never mind. I just answered my own question. I was thinking, they were saying that there were a bunch of people who were flying in regardless, and
Oh,
they
that's
have like,
happening.
yeah, they
Oh,
have
that's
like
happening.
armed military at the airport, like getting their info and asking for a clean COVID test. I was like, what if you don't have it? What do they do then? Do they just turn you back? Do they make you fly back? Or do they test you on the spot?
Oh, you got to go into lockdown then. You're already stepped foot in. I would assume
Right.
you have to go into lockdown. You got to take a test.
But how do they enforce it? How do they make it so that you, like, do they follow you to make sure that
Throw
you...
your
Contact.
ass right in the hotel room. Here you go. You're staying right here 3 to 5 days. till you
Oh,
test
they
yourself.
get a hotel room for you and make you stay in
No,
the hotel?
they're
Oh,
no,
barracks.
you're paying for it.
I'm sure. there's a
You're
barracks.
paying for it.
I would only. I mean, I
What
don't.
if you can't? What if I'm broke?
want?
I
What
can't.
if-
I can't pay
oh,
for it.
Oh, that's okay. Wait for your next stimulus check. You'll get that in fucking February of next year.
They credit.
Okay,
they'll
but-
credit it,
Yeah,
but
of
I'm
course.
sure you'll end up being obligated to.
Yeah, credited with fucking 22% interest.
Yeah, there's
Mm.
probably a major hit you're gonna pay, and you're probably gonna pay out the ass for being a douchebag and not following the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Because not for anything. Once they tell people these are the rules, and and then you decide to go be a douchebag,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, you're obligated to pay the consequences for being a douchebag.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy. Whew. Yeah, so I am going to be making stuff on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be cooking food.
All right, I am going to
As
eat
opposed to
somewhere and
plastics?
drinking beer.
I'm gonna live stream it if you guys want to watch it.
You're
Because
gonna
it's the
live
first time I've done it.
You
Okay.
cooking?
That's cool. I am definitely down. I watch a lot of. Are you going to Twitch?
Yeah. So what are you gonna your whole cooking extravaganza?
Is it going to be on
Face-
Twitch?
It's gonna be on YouTube Live.
Are you doing a multi-camera shoot in the kitchen?
I have to set it up. I don't
You
know
can do that.
exactly how I'm
Yeah,
doing it.
You can do it. NDI. You can swap back and forth between cameras.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can. I should. You should have told me about this in advance. I could have told you like some definite people to go get some ideas from.
Yeah.
I have time.
Multicam show. You got time. 2 days.
2 days.
Meanwhile, we've already started to put the apple and pumpkin pies. Cut up all the apples. Let that shit settle on its sugar and nicey nice.
I'm not gonna start making anything until like tomorrow.
Man.
Yeah, we started the
All
pies
these-
today. Tomorrow is going to be a whole nother thing, and then off to my mother's house to stay there, I guess.
Hmm.
I have to bring my Xbox with me, damn it.
Oh, your mom's? Okay.
Yeah, why not? I have my own room. Might as well just throw my fucking Xbox in there.
Okay.
I
So
just need-
yeah, I'm gonna be live streaming my
Cool.
cooking experiment.
Well, why
that's
don't you
gonna
let
be-
everybody know what your channel is here if they don't know it by now?
It's my name. It's Jessica Masonette. It's
She says her name.
Jessica.
Okay, so I'm going to go to YouTube and go J7. Oh, fuck, I can't find J7.
That's Slack message directly to you. You can go catch up on some vlogs there of various different types of meals and stuff like that. But it's more just so you can see like variants of camera angle and stuff like that that's being used.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
two camera shoots actually quite simple to do. You just need the switching software, which I think is free. That works. with-
Actually, if she's going to be
Mm.
using Streamlabs OBS, she can use the switcher that's built into. It's a phone app, essentially. She can.
Oh
Right,
man.
the switcher on the phone, because then you can phone a laptop or phone a tablet or whatnot. As
Yeah.
long as they're all on the same network, you can swap cams.
But yeah, but I'm saying you can
Yeah.
use your phone as the switcher, like
Right,
to
exactly.
do
Yes,
everything.
that's your
yeah.
your remote.
Right.
I've seen a lot of shows where you see that, and you've got a fucking camcorder over here and a fucking tablet over there and something else, and it's like, all right, so now we're going to put these in. All of a sudden, it's an overhead shot. and
I
you're like,
also probably couldn't have referred you to a more perfect person for like. I'd almost swear that you're probably going to start watching this person more than just
Okay.
for an example.
And speaking of cooking, the president pardoned the turkey today.
He did.
Yes, Cobb. There was a battle between Corn and Cobb, and Corn actually won. So he was at the White House to get pardoned, but Cobb also gets pardoned. Did you know this is a tradition going all the way back to Abraham Lincoln?
Yes.
Did you know President Bush made it like mandatory? It's legal law. You have to pardon a turkey.
He made it a law.
Yeah, he made it a
did,
law.
Did he think there was a possibility that a future president was gonna be like, "F all these turkeys"?
Who knows? I don't know. Do you also know that it's not like a turkey from the wild, that they're farm raised specifically for the White House?
Yes, they are.
That was a
Yeah.
little disappointing to learn. Hey,
America's Book of Secrets. For those of
Yeah.
you who haven't ever watched that tantalizing show, actually one of the episodes has that as part of its little detail. That the pardoning of the turkey and all of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes about how they acquire those turkeys and those turkeys being specifically raised. That there is a lineage there, but it's these farms. It's like also the same thing about like baseball mud.
Oh, from Delaware.
Yeah, you can only come
And only
from,
from
like you can
Delaware.
only from this certain spot,
Do you know?
and
Major League,
they don't tell you where that spot is. They're just like,
do you know Major League Baseball paid their own committee to like fucking a couple million dollars to try and recreate. They gave the money to Rawlings, who make the baseball.
To-
right,
They gave them money to try and knock off the mud
Right.
that is used from this one guy, one company.
well, it's one family, but
Well, yeah, it's family owned, but they only get paid like fucking $46,000.
right.
But Major League Baseball, this is how fucking cheap they can be, paid millions of dollars in research and development so that they didn't have to pay that family
They
46 million.
attempted
Yes,
to.
didn't work.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
attempted to, and the stuff that Rollins come out with, the players hated
Yeah.
so
Yeah, right.
much.
Wasn't even close.
Yeah, that
you imagine?
the players actually revolted, and MLB had to go back to had to continue still dealing with this family because they couldn't get anything.
J7, I don't know if you know any of that, but baseballs are rubbed with a mud before
Mhm.
they are introduced into a baseball game. It's usually done in preparation. Here's your box of balls.
Yeah,
And
and
they-
here's your
Mhm.
bucket of mud.
Right. No, the balls have already been rubbed in it. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's done.
Well, no,
That's
I'm
it.
saying that's the guy before the game. He's
Yeah.
over there.
Right. That's
So
the ball's broken in. You
these-
go.
This is the balls for this team. Here's the balls for this team.
Yeah.
Go
So the
ahead
guy
and get them
the guy
rubbed
does,
in.
like, he does like, I don't know. I think it's like 106,000 baseballs from his mud pit in Delaware.
Yeah, he buckets the mud though.
Yes.
Yeah,
And he
'cause-
rubs the balls and he works the mud in and it softens the leather.
yeah, and
and
it's
then the
perfectly
balls-
conditioned
Yeah.
to
then
provide
the
just
balls
the
go
right
up
amount of
MLB.
scuff and the right amount of softness and like
So this family's been doing it for like 40 something years. They get paid $46,000.
I have a correction. I believe the mud is from New Jersey.
Is it Jersey? I thought it was okay.
No, I believe the mud is from New Jersey in
Oh,
a
but they live in
location
Delaware?
somewhere near the Delaware River.
Right. So it's it's Delaware River mud. So they're probably okay. So maybe they're getting the mud from the Jersey side, but the company is in Delaware. The family's in
Mm.
Delaware, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm wrong. If I don't remember the story correctly,
Where
because it was a
does
fascinating
the
story.
mud
baseball rubbing
come
mud.
for MLB baseballs?
Oh my God, it's Google. You don't have to be that descriptive
The
anymore.
mud originates from the New Jersey side of the Delaware River. The mud is cleaned and screened before each sale. Each year, Jimmy Bintliff
Yes,
visits the mud source and returns with 1,000 pounds of it to store over the winter and sells it the following baseball season.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
said to be near Palmyra, New Jersey.
Okay. That's you can't get.
Palmyra.
Yeah, you can't get
However
any
you
closer.
say it up there, I just told you how I said it down here.
You
Yeah,
can't
it's
get any
Palmyra.
closer to Delaware. There, that's one of those fucking. You can just step in a puddle and you're in Delaware.
Well, you could also spit and hit Philly because it's right
Yeah.
across the river.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
a roommate in college who was from Palmyra.
Makes sense. It's the conversion point. It's kind of like that great fishing spot. It's where all the three fucking the currents come together and the fish are just like fucking stirring up there. You bang them all day long.
Jim
Sure, it's good mud.
Bentliff told CNN in 2009 that the company only brought in about 20,000 a year.
20K.
Yeah.
Well,
At the
major-
time, he was also still working as a printing press operator, full time.
Of course, second job. What the fuck is 24 grand net profit? Make 40,000 and you can only spend 20 something. That's not good. It's half your profits out the window. You need to reevaluate your business. Somebody's getting paid too much to carry a bucket of mud from their backyard to the kitchen.
I mean, everybody would want that mud.
Well, sure. Yeah. Yeah, they even try using it in football, but the leather's different.
Right.
Yeah. No jokes from the White House today as he pardoned the turkey.
Yeah, apparently he just did it and walked off.
No, he said a few things about the stock market and the way America is handling the pandemic and then walked off, which was nice. I mean, stock market, 30 fucking thousand today, all-time high ever. 46 different fucking records the stock market has broken in 4 years. That's impressive. Thriving economy.
The economy is not thriving, but
Yes.
the stock market is thriving.
Economy's thriving.
We have a 6.9 unemployment rate. How is that thriving? It was
Because you're
3.5 in
fucking being
February.
told to stay home.
Okay, then it's not thriving. Is the point? Like,
Anybody who can work, it is thriving. for the
For-
crossing guard who can't go to work because school has been closed and now you're not getting paid. Yeah, the economy looks fucking grim for you.
Okay, but the
How are you doing,
economy
J7? How are you
isn't.
doing? How are you doing, Jay?
The
How are you
economy
doing?
is not any individual people. The economy is
Yeah.
everybody.
J7, you getting a paycheck every week?
I am getting a
Working from
paycheck.
home? Yep, I'm working from home too. I'm getting paid. Thump can work from home if he chooses to. He's got a little side gig where he gets his fucking shit together.
I'm sorry. I
Where-
forgot to
where
read
you
the
at?
economics book that says the economy is limited to 4 people.
Why truckers are doing great. Got to move the goods around. Pandemic.
Okay.
That. Who did
Okay, so the I'm going to repeat this again so that you can hear
Restaurants.
me. The unemployment rate in the
Yeah.
United States is 6.9, which is
Yeah.
very high. It's double what it was in February.
Yeah,
So
lockdowns
that's
again.
bad.
Yeah. Lockdowns again.
That's bad though. And there aren't lockdowns everywhere. It's
Go-
just we're suffering
more-
because
some more
we have a
history.
pandemic. I
Do
just,
some more
like,
Tell me what
you
the
just-
unemployment rate was 10 years ago.
I have no idea what it was 10 years ago.
9.6%. What was it 15 years ago? Whoa. Gee, whoa. Under Bush? Woo-hoo-hoo. 6%.
Okay.
6% is not bad.
All right, let's look that up since you want to ask the question. Unemployment rate historically.
Clickety click click. Clickety clack.
Right? Did you hear that? That was funny.
Average 5.76%. Average from 1998
Okay.
till 2020. Average.
The highest has been 14.7.
Yeah, don't
The
give me the
lowest has
right. 14
been.
April of 2020. Can we? You know when your
So what? Are you making up rules now as
I'm
to
not
what
making up
counts
rules.
and
I'm
what
not making up
doesn't? Like,
yeah, 14% in the middle of a pandemic, in the beginning of a pandemic, where the country said, "Oh shit, we need to shut the fuck down. Everybody non-essential, don't go to work anymore. Don't go. You can't go. Stay the fuck home." 14%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an
So,
inflated number
over
that's
the-
not accurate to the standing.
So here's what I
It-
propose. Here's what I propose. You throw out, just like in school when we're gonna average
Bell
all the
curve.
scores, bell curve. We
Yeah,
throw
you
out the
throw
high,
up the
and we
lowest
throw
and the
out
highest.
the lowest.
Okay, so we're
talking
gonna
about the
throw
lowest
out the
percent,
highest.
right?
We're
Which would
gonna
be
throw out the
14.7,
highest, which
which
is
leaves you with a-
14.7, and we're gonna
which
throw
leaves you
out the
with
lowest, which
Right.
is
2.5.
2.2.
Okay.
Sorry, 2.5.
Yeah,
So the
1953.
average is about.
I mean, it's hard to say unless you got the numbers in front of you to be able to manipulate that, because you're talking 60 years of unemployment numbers. 60, 70 years of
Here's
unemployment.
a good chart. I'll send it to you right now.
It
It goes all the way back to 1950 something.
Either way, it can't be any worse than 6%. 6% is the fucking national average since when? I rest my case. I rest my
let's-
case.
No, you don't rest your case because
I
you
rest
haven't
my
made it.
case.
Let's-
5.76%. We're at 6.9. Okay, we're a little high. Oh, pandemic. 5.7. National average from 1948 to 2020. That includes the pandemic at 14.7%. Unemployment has been historically low. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
It was.
And how we went from 14 in April to 6 in November is amazing, because Wren's words were, and I quote, "A pandemic is at least 2 years."
Well, now we have a vaccine, so that's going to be cut short.
Mhm.
Oh,
Potentially,
that's right.
Potentially.
Potentially.
That's
Yeah.
right.
because we don't know what the
This
side effects are
This
yet.
stupid, excuse me, our president-elect wants to give that vaccine to the world for free.
Yeah, that's
free.
awesome.
After we paid $7.5 billion to create it.
So
No, you give it to the American people for free. And
here's
you
a
sell it.
good.
and you sell it to fucking China with their fake vaccine that they had 7 months ago. You sell it.
I wish there was a better way to look at this chart. It's actually a really good chart.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at two different charts, and you can compare. I can export it and then manipulate it. But
I'm just trying. I really would like to get an. Oh yeah, that's true. Let's just download it.
I mean, you can definitely manipulate it. I mean, there are high points. It was 10% back in the 70s. Yeah, we had an oil fucking crisis going on there. It was high in the 2008, 2007. Well, yeah, we had the entire fucking George W. Bush deregulate everything and fuck the entire economy, which then led to the Wall Street collapse, the housing market collapse, the car industry collapse. Great job, Bush. It's a great job. See, we've had our high points, but if you look historically, low.
Historically, it has been on a downward trend since 2012.
Well, yeah.
Actually, before that, a little bit before that, around 2010. It's been on a downward trend. So the lowest was 2.5.
Right before the pandemic hit.
Right before the pandemic, and then it went all the way up to, I guess, 14.7, and now it's 6.9. But to your point, I really would like to get. Here we go.
I finished that beer. FML. Historically, it's been low.
Historically, over the past, let's see, going all the way back to the 70s, it's been it hasn't really been even. It's actually like a little curve, which indicates that
you got your peaks and valleys. You got your peaks and valleys. You know.
But the highest is 14.7, which is recently. Okay, and now we're at 6.9, which is the highest since.
Looks to me like 2000 and right as a
2008, like 2000, around the time of the Great Recession. So 2008.
No, the recession was at 10%, and that was 2008. That was when 10%.
Right, 2008.
Before that, you got to go back to about 19.
But you can't. You also can't say right now at 6 point whatever percent. We still have areas of this country where there are people that are unemployed because states went into full lockdowns.
Full lockdown. Newark, half of New Jersey, full lockdown.
Right, and so those numbers are inflated, not
and North Dakota
accurate.
and South Dakota. So the numbers aren't accurate now. Like, talk to me in 18 months when the world goes back to being somewhat normal.
Oh, but you can't do that because that would be following the science. Shouldn't we follow the math first and then follow the science? Because science takes a hell of a lot longer to catch up to math. Sorry.
What?
Exactly.
But science drives math.
But math you can calculate quicker than you can calculate science, because you were telling me I got to wait 18 months. Well, I already got numbers. I got math.
Pythagorean.
I got math.
I'm saying 18 months for the science to dictate the
math. The math is already here. Wear a fucking mask. Don't be a douche in public. And go about your fucking daily business. Maybe you should take your mask down and talk to somebody face to face. Get the corona.
Ew.
Herd immunity, bitches.
So it looks like the average is about.
Go back on this. It's 5.7%.
It's not. It's lower than that. It's about 3%.
You pulled out the highs and the lows?
Yes, I pulled out the highs and the lows, and it's 3.3%. So we're still about a whole lot. We're still 50% higher than the average.
Sure.
But like Ren said, this, we're still in the midst of it. So who knows? My point initially was our economy is not thriving. So that's a false claim.
Wait, but it was up until.
It was.
Okay, so that's not a false claim. It's just that you can conveniently throw a pandemic at it to make it not true.
You can throw reality at it.
What
and
right now
not
conveniently happens to be a pandemic. It's not an actual argument to say, well, this person ruined the economy.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
it was a previous statement.
that
at
a
one
person
point there
is
was
ruining the economy?
well, this is the reason you can't say that he's got the highest unemployment or the lowest unemployment numbers. Look at our unemployment right now. This is what they are.
Right.
It's been brought up
He
as an
doesn't.
argument before in your
Right. He doesn't.
in the
The,
two of
I
your
mean, the
employment
truth is
conversations.
that right. I mean, the truth is that it's you can't say that it's the lowest unemployment because it's not. Like maybe it was low back in February, but it's not. And also, if you, I guess this is something that we talked about before. If you want to credit a person with having like low numbers of unemployment, you can also look at the the trend that we just talked about, it's been on a downward trend since 2008. Like it's actually a straight line downward. It was 10% in 2009, and then at the end of February, it was 3.5. So, if anything, if we want to actually credit him with a number, we can say that he was responsible for
Not fucking it up.
not fucking it up. Yes. Until
I mean, if we
I
no,
guess
we can't say no.
February, yeah.
You can't say that he did that at that point. That's what I'm saying. You got that's
Yeah.
that's where the conversation has to. That's a totally different conversation.
Yeah. Right. Like
The conversation
so
moving forward
throwing
from
out the-
February is the
Right,
there's
okay.
math that totally is not adequate to the from 2008 until now.
Okay, yeah. So throwing out the pandemic, he did not fuck it up. It was on a downward trend. It's been on a downward trend for the past like
So he don't get credit.
18 years.
He don't get credited with taking it from the 6% it was
Goodbye.
inherited to the 3.5 it was at.
Well,
guess,
you can't
know,
give credit
you
or take
could-
credit away. You can say you didn't fuck it up, and who's to say you give
Okay.
him credit because it may have already, no matter who was president, it may have continued to do that as long as they didn't fuck it up.
Well, you got to create new jobs or more jobs to get it from the 6% you were handed it with to the 3.5 it was at.
It was
That's
Or the
fact.
creation that was already
was-
organic from the creation of the origin could still be doing its thing. Like it
Well,
grows
yeah.
over time. We understand how that works. We do stocks a lot. So
Yes, of course. What was Trump handed unemployment at with
4.9. It was 4.9.
Okay.
And then at the
4.9 is the
beginning of the pandemic, it was 3.5.
4.9?
So you could say he did nothing to
That's 6
make it what?
That's 6 million jobs.
Okay, you could say he did nothing to shrink the current, like, if you look back historically from, let's see, from when Obama took office, which was in 2008, right? Or 2009? 2009,
Yeah.
which was 9.8, to when he left office,
4
it
points.
was, yeah. So, I mean,
Okay. Yeah, man, I can see that. Yeah. I get it.
if he continued the downward trend.
Yes, I get that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Create enough jobs to keep it moving on the down low. And then the pandemic unemployment assistance claims. 986,000 in August. Max chart. Thank you.
This is here. Let me share this chart with you. It's actually better than the other. It's from the late.
We got to wrap. Thumb's got to go.
Yeah, some say that. We gotta wrap up. I was on trade economics, which I highly recommend for financial, fiscal information, period.
Here's the Department
BLS.
of Labor's. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I dig that
Yeah.
one. You won't watch the show, but you'll support the wares.
Nice.
That's cool.
I love that.
Make sure I got my shit here. All right, 8-Bit Bros. Tuesday. I'd say go out and vote, but it don't matter. Happy Gobble Gobble Day to everyone and to your family if you're going to be with them. Enjoy. Have a good time. Stay safe. Be smart. Don't be fucking stupid. Peace.
Don't do that. Bye.